It wouldn't be right to start this episode of the Schooner Pod without giving a tribute to a great Oklahoman we lost yesterday. Toby Keith passed away, as everyone knows, and has certainly mourned plenty by now. But there's not enough because he's not only just a great Oklahoman, he was a great Sooner. He might not have attended OU, but the guy was as big of an OU fan as you could possibly find. He supported not just football, all sorts of sports across the board, and was an incredible philanthropist in the state of Oklahoma and across the United States. And um, his loss is immense. It sucks. It stings. And it's one that that there'll be you feel his absence. And I just want to say on behalf of all of us at the Schooner Pod, we'll miss you, Toby, and thank you for everything. Thanks for the memories. Thanks for all of it. Cheers. All right, let's go ahead and start this episode, and as Toby would say, proceed to party. So hello and welcome back to the Schooner Pod. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, we've got the full crew going. We got Jameson, we got Ty, and guys, we're here to talk a little OU football news. There's not a ton out there. A little bit of the Super Bowl. We're not a pro football podcast. We'll mention it here and there, but we got to talk about the Super Bowl, mainly because there's nothing else to talk about. A couple Sooners in the Super Bowl. Obviously great prop bets. If you've been watching the show long enough, we love a good weird bet. And yeah, we'll have some fun. It's going to be a good time, guys. But Jameson, among us, I think without a doubt, you're probably the biggest NFL fan of us. And I don't know. Are you excited to talk a little Super Bowl on the pod today? A bit of a rarity.
I love it because this is the time of the season where I feel like I know much more about the other sports that I watch than actual Oklahoma. So I'm glad that I can put some of that content to use.
Ty, you talk a lot about the consumerist college football, but the NFL game. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I like the intro. You mentioned we're not a pro football podcast. I love the double meaning there. I know you didn't intend it, but got a good laugh out of me. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the NFL. As any sane person, reasonably predicted that the Cowboys were in fact cooking up the world's greatest playoff disappointment. And my prediction that I made in September turned out to be true. So hopefully I continue the good track record. I didn't really pick college games that great this year, but we're good at picking the NFL because it's very predictable. So,
well, they delivered, and your Cowboys delivered spectacularly, to say the least. But anyways,
I'm gonna be honest. You said let's talk OU football news. I'm like, oh no. You said OU news, and I was just gonna talk about basketball the whole time. But I guess kind of the biggest news in OU football that's happened this past week. Would you say Jay Nunez out going to Alabama? I know a lot of people have kind of scoffed at this, but our special teams have been horrible. But he was a senior analyst. How much did he really have his finger on the special teams of Oklahoma? But is this even a talking point?
Not really. I mean, he went from an analyst to an actual coach,
good
actually
for
on the
him.
staff.
Yes,
Good
I'm
for
very
him.
proud of
Yeah.
him. And, there's a bunch of haters who are going to be like, oh, this team sucked. At special teams, good, have him out of here. That guy isn't going to fix any kicker's leg. I guess, yes, Tyler.
I'm one of them haters. Gavin Freeman was the biggest issue. I like how you like to gloss over that.
Is he going to help Gavin
it's a
Freeman
kicking
catch
issue.
the ball, or Zach Schmidt
Hopefully
kick it?
they help him enter the transfer portal.
You know what? Maybe he should have been better at giving them a tighter leash.
Yeah.
Or is that our
you in
new?
tighter leash?
Is that
Hey,
our
were
That's
you
not
gonna
even the
sit
analyst's
down?
job.
Like,
though?
hey,
Is that
Gavin,
his
you haven't
new-
been catching the ball. You need to maybe figure that out. That's not how that works.
You can't blame the analyst for that. Yeah,
But
it's
is
not
it the
Nunez's fault.
associate head coach Joe John Finley's? Like, is that the guy that we should be coming after? Because didn't he have his finger a lot on the special teams?
I don't know. I mean, there's an infinite amount of issues. I think personnel is a lot of it, and we're talking about kickers. That's not a strategy thing, you know. It's pretty simple. You got to kick it the right way.
I don't think it's
And
anything to do with Jay Nunez.
no,
The moral
no,
of
no,
it.
no, no. It
Poor
doesn't.
guy.
It does.
Poor
It
guy
ultimately
just getting
doesn't
worked,
matter.
bro, you Twitter.
Well, sure. I mean, he's getting worked, but look, the guy got employed at Alabama. That's pretty neat. So
Yeah.
good for him. Yeah, I don't think that's that much of a thing. Yeah, it's fine. We'll find someone else. We had bigger issues with special teams and whoever was the analyst. News. No news, I guess. The only thing, like, this is how down bad we are, is OU Twitter mainly, like, the biggest news topic was the head of the Crimson and Cream Collective going on OU Insider and be like, yeah, Caden Green got tampered with. They offered him like 5 times the money. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. I think was a worthwhile conversation. It was a really interesting podcast. But let's be honest, it's nothing we didn't know. Like, he clearly got tampered with. You know, like, that's not really news. If anything, it just brought out a bunch of Missouri fans on Twitter, which is never a fun time.
Good.
Like,
Good.
Ty, I feel like I need to start sending you these Missouri tweets to try to coax you back out onto social media so you could go fight these people. I think that's truly your mission in life, is to fight back all of these delusional Missouri fans who think that OU is a poverty program that's, like, you know, living in the past and Missouri's the future, all of that. You know, I feel like that this is your calling in life.
Yeah, they actually just found out about Twitter over there in Missouri, so hot for them right now. It's like it was when we were like freshmen in high school.
They're still sharing bad luck Brian memes and stuff.
Yeah, they're still at the you can say whatever you want to.
They're on
stage
Yik Yak
of Twitter. No, they haven't reached that. That came out. We were like juniors or seniors.
That was around 2012-ish. Yeah, you're right. But I guess Yik Yak will come.
I was in Mississippi, so we were a year behind on all that anyways. People had to figure out how to plug their password into their phones first.
To be honest, I don't even remember. I'm probably one of the worst people at keeping things like time oriented in my head. I don't know.
So
anymore.
I mean, I remember Yik Yak really popping off. Like, I mean, we got it.
It was our junior year. It was our junior year.
I thought it was our senior year. Like
it was the going into our senior year. It was the end of junior year.
Well, it got banned from our high school, and then it really hit like our freshman year of college. No, that was prime Yik Yak, is when people were just saying whatever. You know, as with anything, 2014 was, you know, when everything was perfect. Just what a great year that was for everything but OU football.
Can I talk about how Rivaldo Suarez is the Aaron Wiggins of the Oklahoma basketball team, and I'm going to continue to yell his name from the rooftops.
I love Suarez, man. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I know. I talked about him from the beginning of the season. Something just popped off. That dude is just a glue piece, man. This Oklahoma basketball team really needed that win on Saturday or on Tuesday. And this coming Saturday, there's zero excuse to even toy around with OSU. I swear, if we don't win by double digits at home versus talk about poverty, Oklahoma State poverty. If we give them any kind of lick of hope, and I know Porter Moser has a reputation of doing that with these pokes, dear God, just pencil in a first-round exit for OU in the tournament.
I mean, look, the march to 20 wins is going to be tough already. The you're at 17 right now. I believe 17.
We have two games with the pokes left. We have a home and home, and then we've got at Baylor. And then we got Kansas at home. We got at Iowa State, which is essentially unwinnable. Houston at home. And then we've got Cincinnati at home, which I think is very winnable. And Texas at Texas, which I think is very winnable.
Right.
So I think like if we split Cincinnati, Texas, we should hit 20.
Right. You got to take care of Bedlam, at least at home. I mean, I I think a loss in Stillwater would be disgusting, but let's be honest, like I don't think it'd be unforgivable or like unreturnable.
It would.
But you got to find a way to beat that OSU team. They're not very good, but they show, like, Boynton has a way of showing up and getting his guys ready for games. You know, they caught Kansas State a couple, that might have been last week. So yeah, I could see
Kansas State. Kansas State ended up beating them. And on the wait, that was their first matchup. Yes, the Oklahoma State did beat them at home. Yeah.
I don't know. This basketball team's interesting. I don't know thoughts. I don't know if there's any thoughts on women's basketball other than they're just freaking awesome now.
We can't lose in the Big 12 conference play is what it is.
They're on an absolute tear.
I don't understand it. Like, we played so bad in non-con and then we're killing it in conference play. Like, that's not what you see in college basketball. So cool. Good for them. Yeah.
I mean, Jenny Baranchuk, what an incredible hire. She's been insanely good. So love to see that out of the girls. Speaking of women's sports, softball back tomorrow. They begin their march to a 4-peat. Very excited to see that. They're playing a tournament, Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. I slaughtered that pronunciation. I apologize. So I think that's no, I will not. It might actually be worse.
Can you roll your R's, Ty?
Like if I have one on like a paper.
That was really bad. Don't laugh at him.
No. Hey, that's right. Laugh. That's right.
Yeah,
no, Jameson, you've known me like my whole life. You know that's right in my wheelhouse of comedy.
I know, and that's why I'm stopping you right now.
Ty, keep it up. It's great work. I love it. Okay,
no,
so
not like on demand. It's weird. I can not in Spanish and not on demand. If that makes sense.
So I don't think there's a ton to say about softball. Because they're going to murder folks.
You buying Flow softball for these games tomorrow?
I unfortunately will not. I will be essentially just kind of hanging out, watching and reading the excellent coverage at selloutcrowd.com. Our pals, Jenny Carlson does a great job there. Eli Letterman's going to be tight on that beat. And I'm going to let our great folks over there handle that. Just because I'm too cheap to buy Flow softball. But I want to ask,
Poppy, whenever you bought ESPN Plus for the first time, do you remember what the situation was?
It was Kansas, and I think it was Kansas playing. I want to say South Dakota
or South Dakota or something.
It might have been South Dakota. It wasn't Mercer. It was a red team.
I'll look it up.
It was.
I can pull this up.
It was some bad team because I wanted to see them get upset, and they did get upset. It was incredible. 1982.
Yes, what I'm trying to get at here is you bought ESPN Plus to watch Kansas football. So they beat South Dakota in 2021. Was that 2022 season?
No. That was when we were in college, all right? Because no, it was someone like worse than that. It was
no.
I thought it was a team in Texas. It was like
2021, 2022. They played South Dakota, and they won. That was one of their 2 wins on the season.
No. I very specifically
that season. 57-56. Those the 2-point conversion game.
No, they lost. It was someone dumb. Like they changed their name recently. That's why it's tripping me up. It was
I'll find it.
Nichols State. It was Nichols State.
I was so close with McNeese State.
Yeah, you were. But anyways, I guess I could put a little bit in to watch some Flow softball. That's fair. But I want to ask this about it though. If you could pick, I love the Mexico thing, playing in Puerto Vallarta. If you could play any sporting event, let's just say football, because football's fun. Watch OU anywhere in the world, where would you go watch them? Ty?
Wait, sorry. I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm watching, or like OU is playing.
Like
that
you travel, You have your tickets like set. You have your
But
airfare
OU
set.
is
You
also playing in the place, right? I'm not
Yeah,
like going
I have
somewhere
to
and then
pay for
watching
the
on my
travel.
phone.
no, you don't have to pay for the travel. Like OU
yeah.
and Dublin, like these little Dublin series.
It's like
games.
the Japan games that they did for the Ivy League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can start because I put you all on the spot here.
Yes, was not ready
yeah.
for this.
Yeah, fair enough. It just I formulated this
We're
as
talking
we
about the
were
Super Bowl.
going. We'll get there. We'll get there. But for me, it'd be OU and London. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium would be great. A
Lame.
merger of two of my favorite things. What's lame about that? It would be delightful.
No, because I want them to play in a place that's not like actually has football in it. I want it to be just super unique. Actually, that probably people would tear.
Yeah,
all
so
over the legs.
London. London very
No,
much
Tottenham
qualifies.
they host a game, like NFL game, like 1 or 2 games a year.
I want to see the people on the Tottenham High Road be very confused at what a Schooner is. I want to see it go up and down the chip shops and the knockoff scarf like stands. That'd be pretty neat. Jameson, what would you go with?
In the Coliseum.
Like the Roman Coliseum,
Can
LA
they do that?
Coliseum?
No.
No.
The Roman Coliseum actually in it.
So I like 1982. He suggested Australia. That'd be pretty neat. I'd be about that.
The venue here. How can I put a bunch of people in a place where they're not supposed to play football? And I'm not talking about a baseball stadium. Don't give me any of that blah. I don't want to see
No Fenway.
No, I'm done with that. I think the Coliseum, perfect, right? You could put a football field in the middle of there.
I mean, it would probably take substantial work, but it'd be pretty neat.
We're playing scenarios here.
Well, OU in Italy, though, would be pretty neat. I'd be about that as a whole. Anyways, I think we're going down a rabbit hole. Ty, do you have an answer on this one?
Yeah, here's one you'd never, Brent Venables would never come up with this. How about just Miami in 2025 for the national championship?
Hey, I like that.
I don't want to go to the Orange Bowl
That
ever again.
That would be a house of horrors for us, but I would go regardless.
Yeah, I would love a game in Miami. I mean, other than that, I don't know, somewhere where you would have, I mean, maybe a large fan base. You would want a lively, engaged fan base. Like it's not Europe, right? Europe is the retirement home of the world. They had their time like centuries ago, right? Like the Colosseum in Rome. Anyone in Rome has not played nobody for 1,000 years. Literally, put that on the Paul Feinbaum show. I would take it to Brazil. Example, Brazil NBA accounts. They have they would buy in, right? 6 months of advertising in Brazil, you'd have them convinced that OU was the greatest football team ever. They'd be rendering all sorts of crazy stuff on AI with the Schooner like running over Bevo and stuff. And they'd be 100% bought in. If you make tickets like $2, just hand out Crimson and Cream stuff. The Brazilians would
give them incentivize, like make beer $1, tickets $5.
That'd be very expensive, I think, to them. But yeah,
that I will say that might be.
I mean, no, I'm not trying to be offensive, but $1 US. That's
no. Like, think about it though. Like, if you think about weaponizing social media. You think of like the Swifties or One Direction, but nobody thinks about the Brazilian accounts. If we could get the Brazilians on our side, we'll be unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. South America, they have some really
that's
good.
Right. That's what the NFL's Brazil, population over 200 million. Really, you just got to get them into buying merch. That's the NFL's plan. Just how can we leverage these people into buying merch?
Just everyone commenting under every youth post, come to Brazil, all that sort of stuff. It'll be great. Okay, let's move on with the show, though. That's enough for OU news, I think. Let's move on to a little bit of Super Bowl. Yeah, I really went off the rails there.
Great content.
It's the off season.
Hope you guys are liking this.
Come on. It's the off season. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. So, Jameson, Kansas City here. Not exactly your standard path. They looked really down at some points, kept bouncing back. I would say that's kind of impressive. And San Fran, on the other hand, just really well-rounded team. What are your thoughts on the game as a whole before we start diving into a little bit more of the silly stuff?
I am going to tell you straight up right now, if you want to listen to an in-depth thing about this game and what to pick in terms of actual football, we ain't
it's
going
not
to talk
happening.
about that. And if you want me to talk about my thoughts of the Chiefs and the 49ers, that ain't happening, because all I want to talk about right now is head versus tails. That's all I want to talk about. That's like the bet that we do every single year. And oh my gosh, I am so mad. I just have this vendetta and I've just been holding it back. Virginia, the state that I live in, has legal sports betting. It's wonderful. But they have to ban all of these fun prop bets for the Super Bowl. I can't even bet the coin toss.
Why did they do this?
I'm irate. This is so stupid. I'm so mad. The thing is, a good heads or tails bet, that is perfect for sportsbook. You know, like this is a guaranteed 50-50 thing. They can change the juice ever so slightly each way, and people are going to bet on it. Why? Tell me why a state legislature would be like, you know what? These fans, they can go out there and they can bet the over-under on the game, but the coin toss, no, that's too far. I'm so mad.
Do you know, Jameson, I know there's some states like this. Is Virginia just one where in sports betting it has to be something that's quantified in the box score to count as sports betting? I'm
don't
gonna
know.
assume that
Yes,
that's the case.
because I mean, like, yeah, we don't have any of these like random things that happen. The only fun thing is the octopus, but that's a box score thing too, because that's a touchdown and a
Yeah.
2-point conversion, which happened last season. So like, I'm guessing so. I know that we're not allowed to bet on anyone who like any Virginia colleges I guess that's the only Virginia sports teams that are here. So
Do they have teams?
I don't know. It's just stupid. All right. But the big question is, I'm just going to act like I have access to this. Heads or tails? Because last year was tails. And the past couple, I think 2 or 3 years before that were heads. What do you guys think?
I have
I mean,
actual analysis on this.
Okay.
I go for it.
Do tell.
So the coins are not designed to be balanced. They are almost always imbalanced to the tails side, I want to say, where it has the logos of both teams. But statistically, it's like 52, 53% of the time it has been tails historically, like all time. So I think, right, if I were betting on it, and again, it's one off, it's not 50-50 because the coin is not balanced perfectly. But I mean, I would go heads, right? Because tails is the heavier side, more likely to land down. Again, feel free to fact check me on this so you can Google it pretty quick. But also,
I'm
like,
not going to.
regression to the mean, right? Like statistically, it's a coin flip. If it's skewed one way, you should bet the other way until you get closer to 50. Like 52, 53% is still pretty skewed for something that should be close to 50-50, especially in my opinion if it's skewed opposite of the weight. So I mean, ultimately still kind of 50-50, but I think it's big in the long run. You're probably looking at more like 51% chance it lands on heads. That's true. Google all of that. I'm sure hopefully someone's listening and Googling that right now. 52, 53 might be a little off. But yeah.
I really enjoy how this bet can't push either. You don't have to worry about any of that stupid pushing. It's gonna come straight up for you. And my strategy is, if for all that listen and know the banter between Boat Blake and I love flipping coins with him. I am pushing him hard right now. Pushing him hard to show his cards of what his pick is for the coin toss. He won't be listening to this, so I feel very confident just saying this right now. I want him
He was invited on the show and he backed out.
I want him to say out loud that he wants heads or tails, and I'm going to fade that so hard. It's always fade Blake on coin toss, and I've offered to be his bookie. I say, hey, straight up, Blake, you tell me the amount and the bets you on the coin toss, and I'll take the opposite, and I'll be your bookie for it. And I'm just waiting for it. I'm going to make him break. I've got how many days left? 4 days left. I will make him break, and I will figure this out.
So here's the thing, Jameson, is I think you have to be present when the coin's flipping for the mojo to go against him, because he had a good run of luck when we were flipping coins when you were not around this past weekend.
I need to
So-
be the person that has the power here. I understand my flipping skills. Usually I can fade Blake whenever I flip it. But still, I think that if it's anything between me and him and a coin, I'm winning.
No, see,
I just
again,
don't-
Bobby, though, if Blake had a good run of picking coin flips this weekend, then yeah, I think Jameson's right. Go against him because, again, regression to the mean, it's a coin flip. It's ultimately 50-50-ish. If Blake's on a hot streak, mathematically, that will even out. So
Yeah.
I'm with Jameson here.
Let's
Whatever
get,
the move is,
let's
it's
get
fake.
back away from this because people don't understand.
I'm going
this.
tails. I'm going tails, but I'm feeling
Good.
tails. Tails. We've been riding with tails. Finally got rewarded for it last year. I'm gonna stick with it.
So,
National anthem next.
Let's talk about national anthem. But first, when we get to the national anthem, I've got a prop for y'all. So Reba McEntire is singing it, which is awesome. Ty, what color hat do you think Reba McEntire is going to be wearing?
Is she gonna wear a hat?
She always wears a hat. Not always, but it's just.
So that's the thing. Why is it assumed that she's gonna wear a hat? Because I've seen
this is like the Ted
She
Roof
doesn't-
thing.
she doesn't
Again,
always
she
I've
goes,
never seen her
when
wear
I
a
think of
hat.
Ted Roof, I think of hats. And
If
then
you
there's
look
not
up,
a
if you look
photo
up for
of an
Google
hat.
Images, there is no hats. But this
Never
is
a
a
hat.
prop.
If you
And I see
Google
it.
Reba McEntire hat, then yeah, there might be an image of her in a hat.
But there is a prop, and I found the odds on this. Give me a color, Ty.
I think she comes without a hat. It's Reba McEntire.
So red, because she's
Red.
red-haired.
I don't think she's ever worn a hat in her life.
when have you ever seen Reba wear a hat? She never wears a hat.
Jameson, this is a terrible bet you have found.
No, I've
here.
seen it too. Jameson, I analyzed this for a while looking for the no bet, and it wasn't there. I looked on a certain site that begins with a.
wait till she has a hat.
I looked at a certain site that begins with a B, and it said, "Will Reba McEntire wear a cowboy?" And I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean wear a cowboy? Do you mean cowboy hat? Do you mean actual cowboy? I don't trust you enough to pick one way or the
That's
other."
the thing is like they internet search engines can't even conceptualize her wearing one.
Well, no,
When Bobby tries to
this
search
wasn't
it,
a
it comes
search.
up with
This-
other things.
the website I'm talking about is not Bing, Ty. It is a very specific site. That
just
we are
gonna say
familiar
just
with.
say Bovada.
No. I don't know what you're talking about, Jameson.
What about her
but-
color of her boots then, Bobby? Because I'm looking at Bovada as well. I bet you she's gonna
Now-
wear boots.
That feels red. That feels red to me. Fancy, it's a fancy vibe.
Yeah, a little bit of Oklahoma in her. Have some red. It's at plus 350.
Both Super Bowl teams are red.
Yes. And also, who has the most players in the Super Bowl out of any college? Oklahoma. I think plus 350 for Reba McEntire boots is honestly one of the best bets of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If she
So-
doesn't wear boots, does it push?
I mean, surely it's a no bet, right? Although, depending on your site,
I would need to know this.
well, I think that's fair. I think that's why it's a no bet because I wouldn't trust that.
Reba McEntire boots, lock it in. You can end the podcast right now, but please still listen. But that's the best bet.
Boots, yes, no, or boots color?
I think
Boots color.
with a red color of plus 350.
It's either. I mean,
What about if she's showing cleavage or not? I see this one.
Jeez.
What? Jesus. What are you looking at? My guy. How old is Reba?
What are the odds here? Hold on, I got y'all. One sec.
She's 68.
All right, so let's roll to the national anthem.
Okay, yeah.
No, this
So
is a big- this
Reba's
is a
actual
big one.
singing.
It's no at minus 500.
On the no, we're moving on. Okay, we're moving on. So this is I feel like a really spicy one because we've done this a lot, Jameson. The national anthem, of course. Over under 1 minute 28 seconds. Look, most of y'all probably don't keep track at home like we do. This is one of the lowest totals in years, and it's actually been bet up, I believe.
And
I believe it's risen.
Fast, like in the history of her, she has hit the
Right.
under majority of the times on her times that she's sang it.
Our
at other-
standard's 120.
Yes, exactly. So you're really buying a lot here. I still think you hit the under on this. Like this girl's been singing her whole life. She's not going to change her ways. She's already got this, muscle memory in her head to sing this way.
How much instrumental can you add? Exactly. And that's my thing. And not only that, but it's been betting up. People are putting more money on the over, putting more on the over. I think they know something with this. The shortest national anthem, I believe, is 1 minute 32 seconds. They're not putting it there for fun. It's clearly there because they know something. They know how Reba operates when she sings the national anthem. I'm feeling under.
All right. Hey, Bobby, I've got breaking news.
Oh, no.
Will Reba McEntire be wearing a cowboy hat or chaps? The yes is at minus 200. No is plus 150.
I'm loving no. I'm loving the no there. Maybe the chaps. I could just see her wearing jeans, normal pants. But what defines a chap?
I don't know. There's a lot of gray here. There's a lot of gray. But let me tell you something. They got that on Bovada? Because I just found that on a random site.
Not to my knowledge, because I've never visited that website. Never in my life. Ty, what do you think of the national anthem?
I don't. What was the time again?
1 minute and 1 minute 28 seconds.
131 is the lowest it's ever been at a Super Bowl.
I think it was 131, 130, something like that.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll take the over. I mean, I don't know. You never know. They could have stuff cooked up. So we'll see. I'm kind of like, I still don't really understand how that's timed, but I'm going to take the over.
Oh,
It still could be the shortest. I like the idea that it could be the shortest ever, but still hit the over. So
I've already forgotten if it starts at the time that she opens her mouth, or the time like she actually makes a word, or like there's a lot of science to this, and we looked it up, and I don't remember it. Time for another time. I don't want to hang on this one, Bobby. Bobby,
Right.
It's great. I got a really good one for you. This is not on the list that we were going to talk about. You are an expert of the weather. Can you give me the temperature at the time of kickoff odds?
Off the top of my head, or just guess it?
Do you think it's going to be below 60 or above 60?
Ooh, so they've had a lot of weird weather out there recently, with the storm. So naturally a little bit cooler.
Over under 60? You thinking going colder? Well, let's look up. Come on.
I'm going slightly under. I'm hammering the under.
First off, the current forecast is a high of 51, a low of 33. I'm not Bobby over here deciding if it's going to be over 60.
To be honest, this is probably way outdated.
Yeah. I think it's going to be cold.
Bobby's over here sweating.
I'm going to go back to the B site because I was on a random site there. I'll go back to
that line isn't under.
I mean, Slim. Yeah, what's the payout
it's
on
also
taking the under 60? Slam.
It's also indoors.
Now we got to think here, Bobby. What is the indoor temperature?
I don't know, like a cool 70.
We don't know that.
I don't know. Whatever you set your AC at and a giant Roomba. I don't know what Mark Davis is up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. What else we got, Bobby? Because I got some other ones.
Right. So here's one we've talked about a lot. What color liquid will be poured on the winning coach of Super Bowl 58? So Gatorade or water? We've got
it like that.
Oh yes, the two colors. Gatorade
because that's the way it was
water.
written. No, I mean
what you mean?
I meant like the type of. I meant the type of liquids, Jameson. Those are, as far as I know, the only two liquids you would put in that sort of thing.
You know what I'm talking about with that Drewski? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Okay, so the colors are. I'm gonna go in odds order. Okay, so we're gonna go. So tied for lowest odds. Orange is tied with lime green yellow. at plus 300. Then you have at plus 375 clear/water. After that, it's plus 500 at purple. Plus 600 is blue. And then plus 1,000 is no liquid.
I think you missed the red and lime green.
Yeah, there's no...
Because those
lime
are
is included.
Those are the most popular, like orange, red, and lemon lime, right?
No, lime, green, yellow was there, but I did miss red at plus 325.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I'm on the no liquid to be poured on winning coach for plus 1,000.
I mean, that's not a bad one. Like for plus 1,000 that they would just miss or just not do it, especially for KC. I don't hate purple. I feel like
I think it came out that
Kansas City had purple one year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so that's my analysis on it.
I'm pretty sure Shanahan said that his favorite flavor of Gatorade is orange.
Well, it depends on who wins and who doesn't, right? Like on the off chance that the 49ers win, which they won't, Purdy is a system guy. So like chances are he'll miss. So like, what do you do if there's an attempt, but because of accuracy issues, they miss?
What is the over-under tie on Brock Purdy interceptions?
Speaking
I want to take that one.
It's 0.5
Oh yeah, give me Purdy to throw one.
What are the odds on it?
Ooh, let me look at that.
I'm pulling it up right now because this is something Jameson, I can bet on. I need to get in on this.
Yeah, because we've talked about this in our pre-show. I'm all in on the Brock Purdy hater bet.
Oh, this would be beautiful. Okay, here I am. Interceptions over minus 140. You got to buy some juice on the Brock Purdy. I'm all for that.
That's fine.
And there's going to be promos around right now. I'll find some way to boost that, get it up to even money. I'm going to slam that. That's going to be like my biggest bet.
I'm not really sure how it works if you can do this, but personally, I would tease that up maybe to 2.5 because I like 3.
Alternative line.
Like 3 picks for Purdy. Hold on.
Hey,
what's
I'll
the
tell
line
you guys
for...
what. Again, just to toot my own horn a little bit on NFL bets, the playoffs came around and I said, what was it on Mike Evans? Like more than 3 drops in a game, and it would have cashed 7 minutes into the first quarter.
That was pretty good.
When it comes to NFL hater
really
bets, I am actually very accurate. Give me a Dak hater bet all day. That'll cash. Mike Evans, that'll cash. Purdy, I think it'll cash. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. The Purdy hater bet.
I have
what I want. I wonder if there is if there's a prop for Braden Willis to score a rushing touchdown.
Oh my god!
Because
no chance.
I would put $1 on Braden Willis wild card touchdown or like wildcat touchdown.
I gotta find this.
It would be the greatest moment in Super Bowl history for any OU Sooner ever if Braden Willis.
Is he even getting snaps?
No, of course not. But if it happened, sorry.
What about no touchdown score at plus 18,000
at all?
Yes,
no touchdown scored at all.
Oh God!
Here's Braden Willis.
I mean,
I got him at one touchdown. Would you put plus 10,000 down on Braden Willis or Blake Bell? Both of them at plus 10,000.
Oh,
speaking of,
that's her first touchdown. 2,500 is what it is.
I'd still do that. Put $1 on that. Why not? Hilarious.
Speaking
I'm sorry. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, Bobby, would you like to apologize? I believe on an earlier podcast when I pointed out the backed by evidence fact that Dillon Gabriel was the worst OU quarterback of the 21st century, you saw fit to throw 2-time Super Bowl champion, about to be 3-time Super Bowl champion, Blake Bell under the bus as maybe the worst quarterback, which is absurd because he was on a team with Trevor Knight, who, like, he wasn't even the worst quarterback on that team. But would you like to apologize? Would you like to apologize to what position are his Super Bowl rings on? One's probably on his ring finger and one's maybe on the middle finger, which he might show you.
I not only will not apologize to quarterback Blake Bell, but I will say I'm sorry that they didn't get him in the tight end room sooner, because he probably would have had a better career if he was just starting as a tight end. So, yeah, that's what I'll apologize for. On behalf of OU's coaching staff, you should have been a tight end, bud. You found your calling. Good for you.
Jameson,
All right,
do you have something?
one more. Jason Kelsey, whenever he chugs a beer, shirt on or shirt off?
Initially on, I like.
Okay, well, what are the odds with it?
Minus 175 for his shirt
When
to
does
be
that
off.
when does that start though?
So do you get juice for shirt on?
I believe so, but this is that bogus site with the temperature, so now I don't know.
So here's my thing. I'm thinking shirt on all the way, because loyal listeners, long time, 92%ers listeners of the New Heights podcast would know the only reason he did that was because he was in Buffalo. Now, this is Las Vegas, but you're not going to get the Bills experience outside of Allegiant Stadium or in it, I imagine, Jameson.
I still think he might chug a beer.
I mean, he might chug a beer, but
you said the bet was whether or not he's wearing a shirt, Jameson, not whether or not he chugs a beer.
Yeah.
He will chug a beer.
The bet is on if he's chugging a beer, so it's either shirt on or shirt off.
Right. We're not disputing whether or not he's going to chug a beer. He's definitely going to chug a beer.
Please do not take a bet saying that he won't chug a beer. You're just burning money at that point.
Lighting it straight up on fire. Putting gasoline all over it. So I'm going to go shirt on. Because part of the mystique of what he did in Buffalo was it was cold. If you're in an air control, like a 50 to 70 degree, outside indoor situation, it loses the mystique. It does not have its the same effect. You're just a random dude with your shirt off. It's not cool. You're just weird. So I'm going to I'd go shirt on there.
All right, rapid fire. Ty, what happens to the price of Bitcoin during the Super Bowl? Does it go up or down? Rapid fire.
I mean, that's not necessarily tied to the Super Bowl.
I said rapid fire.
Okay,
still
this is rapid fire, right? It's not necessarily tied to the Super Bowl. It is, in fact, going up currently. I like for it to go up, right? So, right. Geopolitically, it makes sense for certain non-state actors to do things to try to antagonize the U.S. during the Super Bowl so that it's in the news. So we embarrassed America at the Super Bowl. That should drive it up. I like up.
Over under 3.5 Taylor Swift references by the announcers.
Oh, way over.
Wait, references is in. Oh, if we're talking about name. Okay, do song titles count?
No,
song titles.
Is this a quarter? Is this for a quarter or for the whole game?
No, for the whole game.
3.5 for the whole game.
You gotta think it's a yes. You gotta think it's a yes.
Legitimately tease that one up.
That's an over. I like that as an over.
You know what one I really like? Will there be a roughing the passer penalty? I just don't even look at this. Tell me what you guys think that the odds are for this one. Yes and no.
On either team?
Guess the odds.
Yes. So yes is what do you think the odds are for yes for a roughing?
I think that's probably a minus.
It is not. It's plus money.
I actually love that bet.
Because it's going to be some stupid stuff and everyone's going to get all mad. It happens, I feel like, all the time. And it was a big thing. It was a big thing last year. So,
yeah.
Maybe now that I think about it, I would love it. But the refs might be scared from what happened last year.
Right. But just like how Mahomes kind of acts and just how aggressive KC is with their pass rush, you could see him getting one. You just could, For it to happen at all, getting plus money for that, especially in this league.
I think that's a fun one. That's a really fun one. It's like plus 115 right there.
I'm gonna hypothetically take that one. Anyway,
all right. I've got some bets to rapid fire to you guys. This is what people really tune into the Super Bowl for, besides the commercials this year. I think on this podcast, I don't know if anyone listening will connect with this, but of the three of us, I am very much the most Swifty of the three. So here are your Taylor Swift related. How
dare you?
Oh, Bobby's getting mad. Look at him. He's mad.
I'll go word for word right now on blank space, Bobby. You don't
Okay,
want
that's
none of that. You don't
we
want
were-
none of that.
Hey, we were at OU at the exact same time as that. Our good friend Kyle Babbitt
You
was all
learned
about
it
that
from
song.
me. You learned it from me, probably.
Please,
That is-
please, for
I
the sake of
probably
everyone
did.
listening, don't do this.
Anyway.
Bobby, just let him win.
No,
All right.
we'll get copyright struck on that one. So, all right, rapid fire on this one. I have a thought on the first one, and then I'll let you guys rapid fire through. So, will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift on the field after the game? I think it's a pretty firm no from
Yep.
me. I don't think there's lines on this in the U.S.
Minus
Yes is
800 in
currently
Canada,
plus
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving all over. I don't think it's gonna happen. What are you guys thinking?
No,
Absolutely not.
That's not going to happen. It's obviously too quick. And secondly, there's going to be some absolute big thing where it's like, if we all know that they're like in the huge limelight, there's going to be some big event where they can take all their pictures and it's going to look all pretty and everything. They're not going to do it at the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also seems like something she would despise, it's, I don't know.
As the Taylor Swift
that's a big no.
All right, here's a rapid fire one. Will Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift announce a pregnancy during or after the Super Bowl? Yes is plus 850 on Bet US.
After is a very long time.
I need to know the after.
Okay, I think it means like immediately.
day
It's
of.
same with the proposal thing, right? You say after
the-
the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Hey, everybody, we're expecting.
Hey, there's
I
no
don't know.
baby.
Hey, you know what? Right? Maybe Disney dropped the bag so that they would have a baby to take to Disney.
I will say, yep, okay. No. There's not a mystery baby.
There's not
no,
a Disney bag baby.
I've no Disney bag baby. No.
I don't like the sound of that.
Okay, that did not sound great. It's unfortunate. No. What I was saying though. Shout out to our guy Tommy Wiseau, who may or may not be in a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh yes!
I'm so excited. I'm so excited,
I am
folks.
So excited. My anniversary is actually on Sunday, my first anniversary. And every 7 years from now on, I will unfortunately have to ride the line of trying to celebrate my anniversary as well as trying to get the Super Bowl to be the focal point of my evening. So I have a cooking class that ends 30 minutes before the Super Bowl starts. I don't want to see any bullshit. I'm just going to cuss on this because I feel very passionate about this.
Jameson, how dare you?
Super Bowl commercials. Don't give me that BS where you start commercials before the game. No, no. I don't want to see that. Do not give me FOMO like that. Once the Super Bowl starts, then the good commercials come out. Give me those stupid car commercials and the ones that nobody cares about before the game. Don't give me any of the good ones. I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, Jameson doesn't want to miss anything good. He give him that bull honky, He doesn't want he doesn't want none of that bull junk.
Cooking on Super Bowl Sunday, something Brock Purdy will not be doing.
I'm going to a cooking class. So, wait, you're talking about okay.
Purdy needs a cooking class. He
Putting
does
on
not
a
know how to
class.
That
cook.
is
on Super
minus
Bowl Sunday.
140. I'm
Something
so
Brock
excited
Purdy
to
will not
slam
be
that.
Okay, so here's one. No, you can go, James.
Okay, I was gonna say one last thing before we do another one, Ty. And I'm actually asking you a question because you're neutral on this one. Which sporting event is a worse time to have your anniversary on? March Madness or the Super Bowl?
Well, March Madness is it's an entire month. So like if you have I feel like the Super Bowl being a singular event.
Weekend one of March Madness, though.
But even then, that's when the most games are. So even with a wedding, you miss percentage-wise, right? You're not missing as much. But I loved Jameson and his wife's beautiful wedding. One of the best weddings, besides yours, Bobby, and of course mine that I've been to. So I cannot answer the Super Bowl in defense of Jameson. So I will answer March Madness.
Yeah, so let's just say this, Bobby. You're guaranteed every single year to have basketball games on all day during your anniversary. Mine, I get it once every 7 years, and I can still do stuff during the day and watch the Super Bowl at night.
Bowl
Your
once
whole
every
day, you can't just sit on your couch and watch March Madness the whole day because of your anniversary. So that's not even an argument. I will
Not
be watching the
guaranteed,
Super Bowl.
though.
It's not like, oh no, it's my anniversary. I can't watch the Super Bowl. No, I'm gonna make it work. Come on.
You know what I
Like,
did
that-
on my
that's not even an
anniversary? We still ended up watching March Madness. It was great.
I know, but did you watch all of March Madness?
No, but also I don't watch
Exactly.
March Madness like that.
Ooh,
like to that
see,
degree.
there's your problem. All right.
I watched a lot of
Shut
it.
the case down.
Well, we're fine. It's gonna be great.
Shut it
We're all
down.
gonna be okay. Anyways, Ty, I want to hear more of your props. What do you got?
Yeah, so maybe one of the worst bets that you can get is
Chaps.
will Taylor Swift lipstick color, it's going to be red, right? I think you're a fool to take
Yeah.
it's red minus 1800 right now. Any other color plus 700. So I mean maybe there's some money in that, but she already wears red all the time, and then the Chiefs, so
That's a
What
lot.
about no
Yeah, that's
lipstick?
just free money.
I think she
Well, that won't
always wears
happen.
lipstick, doesn't she? We're going to ignore some of the political ones because Bobby will get too political. But another maybe good one is this kind of led into something Jameson said earlier when he cursed. Will Taylor Swift be caught mouthing a curse word, presumably saying, but she's not mic'd up, during the CBS Super Bowl telecast? So we specified CBS there. Yes is currently plus 300. What do you guys
I
think?
would like to know which words are curse words, please.
I also like that you noted that it was
Hmm.
CBS and not on the Nickelodeon one.
Well, that's what the bet said. The bet specifically says during
Wait,
the
there was a
CBS
curse on the
Super Bowl
Nick one.
telecast.
Because there was a curse on the Nickelodeon one time on accident,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they have to specify that the children aren't getting the curse words. Because it happened once. I don't know. I can see it.
I need to
know,
know
Jim.
what the curse words are.
I mean, what's the Supreme Court's case say? You know it when you see it, type
I think
thing. I
that's
feel
with
like that.
porn.
We should need to cut this off.
We lost a viewer when
Anyways.
you said that.
They're like, oh, how curse words. Oh God. I've listened through
You know
this
what I miss?
entire time.
We haven't gotten a porn bot in the comments in a hot minute. Where them be?
That's our viewership has been impacted by losing the porn bots. Oh Jesus.
Bobby, do you have any
Ty-
rapid fire ones for us? I mean, we're kind of wrapped on Taylor Swift ones without getting into like, will someone endorse someone else for the election, or will someone call someone out on different social media platforms?
I think I have
Reba McEntire, red hat, red boots.
red hat,
Rocketed.
red boots. Okay, so I'm out of my props. I was just gonna ask you, game wise, does anyone have a prop that they like?
No,
Like,
we don't care about them game.
I'm
We
not-
bet,
I'm
we
not
bet on
asking
the
for-
coin toss and Brock Purdy interception.
I'm not
That's
asking
what we're
for
talking-
okay. I'm not asking for an in-depth dive into the Super Bowl, but like maybe just one thing. You know, anybody? Nothing.
No,
I like Travis Kelce first touchdown. I like that a lot. I also like Travis Kelce. You know, over 1.5 touchdowns. But
I feel
No,
like someone
screw
should
me.
be. No, I like that one. Almost certainly, yeah. I like Travis Kelce over 1.5. I was going to say someone should be very cheeky to the NFL and have some sort of bet on like amount of football that will actually be shown, or like amount of football we'll actually get. Obviously, you have the 4 15-minute quarters, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of running of the clock, and I'd be very surprised to see what the number turns out in terms of
Are
actual
you
football.
asking a prop of how long will the actual game take?
No, I'm saying like
Because that would be absolute savage if you're just sitting there like game's on, snap, and you're like stop watching.
no, not even more specific than that, of like actual football, right? So you're not counting when it's like the clock is sitting there counting down and the game clock's running. Like you're counting from snap of the ball to plays blown dead whistle.
I can't imagine how logistically difficult
Would not be very difficult at all. to time that. It's they snap the ball, you start the timer, the whistle's blown, the timer stops.
What happens? You're off by a couple seconds.
How in the world would you be a couple seconds off of the ball being snapped?
Hey, I mean,
It adds up.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of commercial breaks here. But I like your thoughts.
Snapped. That's on commercial. What?
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that would be fun. Ty. In terms of football stuff, I don't have anything to say, Bobby, other than Ty and I will be on the fade Brock Purdy.
I'm all in on the hater. Let's hate on Brock Purdy thing. I actually feel like, KC could get a lot of pressure to him. They can turn it over. And also, it's Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. How did this happen? What the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
Hey, he almost won MVP this year. Let's be honest. It's like let's just think about that.
On the same team that had Jimmy Garoppolo in the same conversation, just perpetually.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, I think that's pretty much all we got for the show. We've exhausted our, hat conversations and the rest. Anything I want to say before
Reba's going to be wearing some red cowboy boots. Book it.
We'll see. And look, if you're listening to this on playback, I want to see what y'all think. Put your comments in. I want to see your picks, mainly so I can tail a little bit, unless they're absolutely awful, and then I won't. But let's be honest, you'll probably nail it, right? So, anyways, all right, that's all we have for today's show. Next time out, we'll probably find some news, maybe. I don't know. Football season will be fully over, and we'll figure out something to talk about, just like we did today, which is not an encouraging, probably not the most encouraging side for you to come back. But, always a good time with you guys. This was fun. So, until then, this has been the Schooner Pod. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody.